I'm standing at my own back door, looking out at 40 strangers eating my food, sitting in my chairs, playing music I didn't choose, and my neighbor looks me dead in the eye and says, "We figured you wouldn't mind." Okay, back up. It's a Saturday in July, I'd been running errands all morning, and I come home around noon just wanting to throw some burgers on the grill and sit in my own yard. My neighbor, I'll call her Diane, she lives next door and we've always been fine. Not best friends, but fine. She waves, I wave, we've borrowed sugar once, the whole thing. Her yard shares a fence line with mine, and there's this little gate between them that I usually keep latched. I notice the gate is open when I pull up, and I think, weird but okay. Then I walk through the house to the back, open the door, and I genuinely stop moving. My patio table? Covered in food that is not mine. My Bluetooth speaker is on and playing music I have never heard. There are people in lawn chairs I own in my yard on my property. And Diane is standing there in an apron like she lives here. So I say calmly, "Diane, what is going on?" And she smiles, she actually smiles and goes, "Oh, we're doing my mom's birthday. Her yard doesn't have shade and yours does, so we just used yours. We figured you wouldn't mind." I just stare at her. "You figured I wouldn't mind." Correct, that's what she said, to my face. I tell her I do mind, actually, and she needs to move the party back to her yard or somewhere else. And she tilts her head and goes, "But we already set everything up." Like that's an argument, like the labor of trespassing makes the trespass okay. I offer to help her carry stuff over the fence. Genuinely, I said I'd help, she waves me off. "There's nowhere near enough shade over there, it'll ruin the whole party." Then she hits me with beat too. "Also, we used some of your stuff because we didn't have enough, just the chairs and the speaker and a little bit of the food from your fridge." From my fridge, she'd gone into my house. I didn't even know what to say. I asked her very carefully if she had gone inside my home without asking, and she goes, "The back door was unlocked, so I didn't think it was a big deal." Beat 3 comes fast. One of her family members, guy in a Hawaiian shirt, walks over and says, "Hey, is this your place? Listen, could you stay inside for like 2 more hours?" My mom gets nervous around strangers. I am the stranger. In my backyard. He wants me to go inside and wait. "It's just 2 hours," he says. "We'll clean everything up." 2 hours, inside my own house, as a guest. I said no, I said everyone needs to leave my yard now. And that's when Diane's whole energy flips. She goes, "I cannot believe you're being this selfish. It's one afternoon. One afternoon and you're going to ruin an old woman's birthday over it?" I told her I wasn't ruining anything. She'd moved a party onto my property without asking and helped herself to my fridge. She goes, "Oh, so you're going to be the person who makes a scene at a grandmother's birthday party? Really? That's who you are." And I looked at her and said very evenly, "Yeah, Diane, today I am absolutely that person." She went full volume then. "You are so unbelievably petty. We are neighbors. This is what neighbors do." I said, "Neighbors ask. You didn't." And then Hawaiian shirt guy gets in my face and goes, "You really need to calm down." I am calm. I was the calmest person in that yard. I pulled out my phone and called the non-emergency police line right there in front of everyone. And I said, loud enough for the whole party to hear, "Hi, yes, I'd like to report a group of people who have entered my property without permission and are refusing to leave." The music stopped. No, seriously, someone reached over and actually turned it off. 40 people went very quiet. 2 officers showed up 11 minutes later. 11, I was watching the clock. They walked through the gate, looked around at the full party set up in my yard, and one of them just goes, "Whose property is this?" I raised my hand. He looked at Diane. She started explaining the shade, the birthday, the unlocked door, and the officer just cuts her off and says, "Ma'am, you entered someone's home and used their property without consent. That's not a gray area." She tried to say we were neighbors like that changed the law somehow, and he said, "You have about 20 minutes to clear this yard." Hawaiian shirt guy tried to argue, and the second officer just stepped in front of him and said, "Sir, don't." And that was it. Diane's family broke down the whole setup in silence while I stood on my own patio and watched. Her mom, the birthday woman, walked past me and didn't make eye contact. Diane herself, on her way out through the gate, turned back and said, "I hope you're happy." I said, "I really am, actually." She closed the gate. My yard was empty in 18 minutes. I grilled my burgers. I sat in my chair. It was a nice afternoon, but okay, the part where I said it out loud in front of everyone with the officers right there? Some people are gonna say I could have handled it quieter. Maybe. Honestly, though, what would you have done? Comment below.